What is the inside of Mars made of? How did rocky planets like the Earth form 4 billion years ago? We are on the verge of learning all of this and more with the next big mission to Mars. The next mission to Mars is being built in this clean room right here at Lockheed Martin. In 2018, NASA is launching InSight, which stands for Interior Exploration Using Seismic Investigations, Geodesy, and Heat Transport. A mouthful, but basically InSight is a lander that will attempt to answer a question that other Mars missions haven't yet posed. How did rocky planets form? You see, we've sent a number of probes, landers, and rovers to Mars, but they've all studied features like the atmosphere, or land features like canyons, rocks, and soil. But no one yet has attempted to investigate the planet's earliest evolution. The InSight lander is currently being held safely in this clean room that I'm about to go in. To be in this room, you must wear a full clean room suit, or bunny suit. The purpose is to make sure there's no contamination on the spacecraft. Small pieces of dust or debris can cause the instruments to malfunction. It's also important to make sure we don't bring Earth germs to Mars. If we ever find life on Mars, we want to make sure we didn't bring it there. InSight will tackle this question by investigating the red planet's interior structure. But to get to that point, we must first get this spacecraft to the Martian surface, which is no easy task. That's because landing on Mars is really tough. First, the spacecraft has to travel 300 million miles just to catch up with Mars. But that's actually the easy part, because the last few miles of that trip require some incredible precision. InSight will have to survive a punishing entry into Mars's atmosphere, where its heat shield will have to survive temperatures of 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit. After that, it jettisons its heat shield and deploys its parachutes to further reduce the rate of descent. Finally, it sheds the parachutes and then uses its descent engines to slow down for a soft touchdown at about 5.5 miles per hour. All of this happens within the span of 7 minutes. That's called propulsive landing, and it's extremely hard. But Lockheed Martin engineered the very first landing on Mars for NASA 40 years ago, and is proving that capability again on InSight. So it's safe to say that NASA's next mission to Mars is in good hands. The InSight lander is based on Lockheed Martin's Phoenix lander design, but it will also be equipped with 3 scientific instruments built by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and international partners, including the French and German space agencies. These 3 instruments will work together to take the vital signs of Mars and provide data that will allow scientists to determine its interior composition. A seismometer will measure Mars quakes. Another instrument will determine how Mars wobbles and rotates. And finally, a heat probe will hammer itself 5 meters, about 15 feet, below the surface and take the planet's temperature. In just a few months, this spacecraft will be shipped to Vandenberg Air Force Base in California to be the very first interplanetary mission launched from the west coast of the United States. There, it will be placed on top of an Atlas V rocket and prepare for a nearly 7-month journey to the red planet. I'm Emily Calandrelli, and this has been your Spotlight on Space.